Welcome back to Ask the Druids. And today I have Helen Salinas with us on this episode, who I met through a very good friend of mine as well. And Helen and I have gotten to know each other very well.
Mhm.
And so, Helen, why don't you tell everybody about kind of what you do, the work you do, and what our topic is for today?
Alrighty, well, thank you once again for inviting me. As you said, my name is Helen Salinas. I'm a, a psychic medium. Um, I work with energy healing as a medical intuitive, and one of the things that I do that's outside of the norm is I also communicate with animals. So if you ever get the chance and you'd like to look up my website, I'm at alighthealing.com, and that's alight with an A-L-I-G-H-T. But I'm really excited today to be here asking the Druids and having you channel, because so much is happening
Mhm.
in our midst, in, not just the psychic community, but, worldwide.
Mhm.
And we are at a time now where, the veil is getting thinner. We're having more energetic shifts in our lives every day. We're witnessing and experiencing things. So
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think this is just it's an exciting time to be here, but it's also kind of stepping into that unknown,
Yeah.
because so many planetary alignments and everything are connecting as they never have. So
Mhm.
this is this is really good. So I'm excited, and I've seen your episodes with channeling with the Druids,
Yeah.
and you've touched on so many fascinating, topics. So
Yeah.
I'm really I'm really honored to be a part of this
Yeah.
be part of this experience.
Well, thank you for being on. Your energy is so wonderful, and the way you can connect in with other things is really cool. And just getting to know you. So I tell everyone out there, definitely look up Helen because she's got some amazing work she does with animal communication, and then just overall being a psychic medium and light worker as well. So you were telling me about an interesting experience you had last night, which I think is going to kind of be our topic today, right? So
Yes.
you kind of want to share just a little bit about kind of what the topic is and how you decided on that topic?
Well, I had, and this is interesting, I had been asking my guides to give me guidance, and specifically last night, I had made it, that request again, give me guidance on what our topic could be.
Mhm.
And what happened was a psychic attack of, energy trying to invade my space. And I thought this would be interesting to bring up, because so many people may have experienced it, but not aware of what they were experiencing.
Right.
And the way the attack happened was I had just barely fallen asleep. And it was a moment of lucid dreaming where I know I'm not really in a dream. This is actually happening. I wake up because I sense something is very off. And I call for my mother. Now, my mother passed away in November. And so I call for her in this dream. And as I get up to go to her, because like I said, I sense something very ominous around me, I'm feeling things like reach out and try to grab me. I go to my mother, and as I'm reaching to give her a hug, the entity had like shapeshifted, taken the form of my mom. So I ran to her thinking she's familiar. And here it was trying to attach onto me, trying to grasp onto me.
Mhm.
And, I sat up, woke up, did my prayers for protection and such. And the energy kept coming back. Even now I was wide awake, and that energy kept coming back and coming back. Now, as an animal communicator, my animals are like my force field. They sleep. I have one to my left, one above me, one to my right, and one will usually lay on my chest. So they it's like this little, everybody jokes that it's this little animal force field around me. While this is going on, I didn't want to wake my husband. I'm taking care of everything. My Yorkie sits up and starts just growling and barking to the spirit that was on my right. And it was basically a joining of forces with me and her that they finally dissipated and, left. But I was like, okay, the dog even sensed
Mhm.
this energy was there. It was intrusive, it was dark, and she was prepared.
Mhm.
It was interesting because the cats, it's like I don't know, kind of like like they hunched down, but it was the dog that decided to be the protector of everybody. Everybody was in attack mode
Yeah.
for something they couldn't see, but they spiritually felt it.
Right.
Now, as we discussed, we know that the veil has gotten thinner. There's been so many changes happening, and is this going to be something that's going to be happening more and more? Is this something, what guidance can the Druids give us as to, protecting ourselves or being able to tell the difference between the energy? Is it a trusted energy? Is this an energy that again has taken on the form of someone we trust, almost like a stranger offering you candy to get you and grab you? It's an interesting way of looking at, having things happen that I hadn't had really happen before, not to this level,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And as I said too, the incident with the owl, I had a relative send me a picture this morning where there's a dead owl in their yard. And instantly I'm putting the two together. I was like, this is not good, as
Right.
this owl was not, it wasn't prey for something. It showed no sign that it was attacked. It was an intact, healthy looking owl that just decided to, you know,
Yeah. To pass.
to pass in her yard, to cross over.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, not good. This family member is also very intuitive. She's a master manifester.
Mhm.
So to know that she is also in this attack field, I think this is something that we could share, as the Druids, and share the information with others on how we can handle this situation that we haven't encountered before.
Yeah, I completely agree because you hear about psychic attacks and people will, maybe have little bits of them, but your experience, and I think because you're such a strong light worker and open that it came on a lot stronger. So I think, as you mentioned, the veil opening up, this is definitely something for us to touch on. And I think a really good topic considering all the energetic changes that are coming in for everyone right now, and just keeping your boundaries and your protections and just making sure that you're walking your path versus being steered off of it. So
Correct.
yeah. So
Correct.
wonderful. Well, good. Well, we will go ahead and get started unless there's anything else you want to add.
Excited to hear the guidance, because I said the spiritual community continues growing, and even those that aren't inclined to use so much of the spirituality, the energy will still be useful
Mhm.
to them also. So this is going to be a wonderful learning tool for so many.
Absolutely. Well, good. Well, thank you for being a part of it today.
Thank you.
When you think of the concept of a spiritual attack or a psychic attack, as you're calling it, it is about knowing that your energy and you were open, you were ready for something to come in. When you go into that sleep mode, it is almost as if you were moving between the different dimensions from the 3D earth world down into that spiritual lower level, that more resting vibrational level is how you can look at it, the same way you see with the brain waves that move up and down. And so when someone is going through that, their soul is really kind of being like, okay, I'm ready to go do my work for the evening. I'm ready to go learn something new, to get a download, to meet up with another soul. I'm allowed to make those changes and those movements as the body gets the rest it needs, as it is cleaning and it's recirculating and regenerating and doing all of the things that it does during sleep. This gives a chance for the soul to really expand and the consciousness just to shut down and not worry about things and not be so concerned about things. And so, because there's all these shifts happening with the body and the mind and the soul, which make up the trine, which is the human experience, that allows for that energy to be shifting so much that's when these energies that are coming in that maybe are not of someone's greatest good can almost infiltrate a little bit or see. And because you are always so sure of where you are and how you are, as most people are, you can sense then that you sense that something is not right, that something is not there. And when these energies are coming in, it is about trying to either utilize your energy for what they need. It's about to bring you over to their line of thinking or more in alignment with what they have. Or it is just about understanding who and what you are. Because so many of these energies that you may consider dark, and we'll use that term now, well, even though we don't look at them as bad per se. We look at them as duality. For you to understand and for the human race to truly exist and experience and learn, you have to have duality. The good and the bad, the dark and the light. And so it is not bad, it is just the opposite that allows you to experience. And that's part of what happens with these experiences, is that you have this ability to understand what is coming through and how all of that is shifting into a more of an alignment for you to say, no, this is not part of who and what I am. And so, yes, you can say, yes, I put up my boundaries, I was there. And for most people, they would not have even noticed this. But because for those light workers, those who connect in with the spiritual realm, who are more sensitive to changes in energy or shifts in energy, that is something that those people can experience as you did. You can have that ability to sense that. And so it is truly about saying that, no, this is the space. It is first, yes, you put up your boundaries, you set your intentions, but it's also about clearing out not only the space in the home, but what so many people realize is many of these energies are part of the land. They're part of the earth that a home is on. And it is
Mhm.
about what has happened there in the past. It is about what was this land prior. For if there was a war fought on that, if someone passed on there, if it was a place where everyone just dumped all of their garbage and all of their discard, that is a place that no one wanted. And so that energy starts to build up and feed there. And so it is about understanding for each person out there that people always say, well, I cleared my space, I cleared my home, but you have to go deeper than that. And you have to clear the land and the space where you live, because the
Mhm.
energy of the land is different no matter where you are. Every place on earth will feel very different. Even where one home sits will be different than the home right next to it will be very different and will feel different. And that's because of the energetic imprints that are left for each being person that are there. And every home also has its own personality, its own consciousness, its own energy imprint. And that changes and adjusts based on the families that move in there. And when they leave, it makes a change, it makes a shift. And so it is about understanding that it's about going deeper. So, because you had this psychic attack and you had this energy penetrating into your space, it is about you knowing that you need to be more clear in what is around. And yes, your animals do sense that and see those energies, because animals work in a different vibrational space than humans do. They don't have so much of the veil that has to shadow them and shade them to have their experiences in life. It is how they sense when another predator is coming up to them. That is part of their evolutionary process. It is also how you will see someone, an animal stare out into space, or a dog that will bark at something and you go, well, there's nothing there. But they see the energy, they
Yes.
sense the energy, they know it, they can hear the vibrational change. And so that is what your animals were doing. They were knowing that there was something there that was not normal, that was not typical energy of what you had. And so it was allowing for them to say, wait a minute, we need to protect, we need to ensure our space is clear. Because just as humans want their space to be very calm and peaceful and in alignment with their energy, animals do as well. That is why you will say, well, I don't know why the dog never sits on this end of the couch and always sits on that end of the couch. Well, they don't feel an alignment over there. So they're
Mhm.
going to go to where they feel that alignment. And so that is about understanding that as all of these things are coming in and all of these shifts are happening, that you need to have this construct, that it is about knowing and saying, setting out your space and time, understanding that there's duality, but also setting out those boundaries to say, this is not part of what I have, and clearing not only the space you're in, but the land. And that also includes all of those people that you associate with, all of those other places you've been. Because as you leave an energetic imprint on everything you touch throughout the day, whether it be a door handle, whether it be at the grocery store, when you put your hand on the shopping cart, or wherever it may be. But it is truly about you knowing that you leave your imprint, but you also are picking up little imprints from everywhere you go. And so it is about that letting go of all of that and truly making sure that your space, your home, and your etheric body are truly clear of all that, that you do pick up and bring in with you. Does that helpful for you?
Yes, very helpful. I use the analogy many times that, the energy as you go to different places attaches to you, to think of like stepping in a piece of gum, how and every step you take, you're leaving a little bit of that gum behind, and it just
Right,
becomes a mucked up mess. And that's why cleansings are so necessary,
right.
because it all just gets so discombobulated and attached, and you need to cleanse the energy. You need to cleanse your field as
Yeah.
often as you can.
Yes, and sometimes it can just be the intention to let go. When you walk in the door, I let go of all that I picked up today that did not serve me, or all that came up for me today that does not serve me, and just let it go. Let it be gone, and then step into your home. So,
Yes.
what other questions do you have for us today?
Okay, let's see. Pets are such a high vibration, animal. You have a cat that purrs next to you and such. How can we protect them? How can we help keep their energy protected? Because they feel what we feel. If we're sad, if we're happy, what can we do to help them?
So it is about ensuring that the space you're creating is a very an alignment and calm energy for them as well, because they do pick up. But part of what they do, part of what cats do, is they're there to comfort. They're there to cure. If you look at their purring, the vibration that they put off is a very healing vibration of that purr. So they're sitting on your lap and you feel that, and that purr and that vibration is going through your whole body. So
Mhm.
they are back, they're healing it back. So it is also about giving back to them. When you can see that they're not in true alignment, it's about petting them, giving them their space, allowing them to have what they need. It is about understanding that they are living an experience as well, that their soul has come in to have this lifetime and have this experience of learning and of knowing and of growth. And so sometimes that experience can be how to get along with a dog, or it can be how not to always just sit in the corner and just sleep all day. And it's really about interacting with others. Or maybe it could be that they were astray and that they found a home, and it's about embracing other people and humans and having that experience of love that is truly there. And so it doesn't matter what the reason is, but it's about finding what can you do to assist them. But understand that animals always look for calm. They always just want to give and receive love. The same way a dog that you can say, you can leave them and then come back, and they are not mad you are gone, but they are happy and they are joyful
It's
and
true.
they just want to feel the love. Whereas the cat, you leave and they go, well, you left me. And they're a little more standoffish. But a cat also is a little more self sufficient than a dog. And so for the cat, it's saying, I know I left, but I'm back now, and giving them the space they need to let go of that, to be able to re embrace it again. And they get to a point where they understand that this is part of the experience of living with a human, that there are things that can make them come and go. But it is about knowing that they are on their journey the same way you are on theirs, or you are on yours, and that as each of you walk right now, you're on parallel paths that are
Mhm.
moving in the same direction because they are your pet and they live with you and they're part of you. But it's also about ensuring that you're also checking in with them for what they need, and more than just food and shelter. And it's not about giving them everything or giving them all the toys or all the treats, but it's about really connecting in with them and asking at a soul level, what can I support you with on this journey as you are supporting me? And you will find that the answer will come, and that will be all they need to continue their lifetime with you. Is
That's a
that
beautiful, that's a beautiful answer. Thank you. I would like to know if we can circle back to the duality of energy.
Of course.
How, it has the light and the dark. It's more of a duality more than um, negativity. So when the energy takes on the form of a loved one, how do you know which side you're looking at or embracing? How do you tell?
Well, the first
Does that
thing
make
you
sense?
need to do is you need to understand where the alignment lies, what
Okay.
type of energy they have initially. So, did they have more of a difficult lifetime? So, initially, you think fearful, you think, I don't know, you're like, this doesn't align with me. And then you
Hmm.
come to find out that, yes, it is their energy in true form. But because they maybe have more of a dense energy and feeling to you because of the strifes they found with life and the difficulties they had, that they don't carry that lightness that other souls do. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just how you're perceiving the energy. It's just what they're giving off. And so it is about understanding that, okay, this is what there is here. And so you have to understand what that soul truly is to begin with. And then
Hmm.
you will start to be able to differentiate when it is something different and when it is right. Now, you can always say and ask that you only want things of your highest and greatest good to be near you or come to you. And you will notice that when you say that with conviction, that those things that are not will be told to leave. They will
Yes.
leave. They have to leave. And so if you notice that and a loved one does leave, then you can say, okay, is that them in their purest form? The answer, most likely not. But if they do leave saying, okay, how can I understand the differences between them and their purest form and this energy that is looking a lot like them or is connected to them? It could be connected through a cord or other things, but it
Hmm.
is saying I'm asking for their soul and energy to come in its purest form of the light to connect with me. And that is how you can start to begin to differentiate. Now, over time, you will also begin to understand what energies feel like to you. The same way you hear a voice. And in the human world, you say, oh, I know that is this friend, and I know that's my dad, and I know that's another friend. You are able to differentiate just from the voice and know who that person is. Well, the same can be said with energies. As soon as you feel that energy, you're going to know, oh, yes, I know that's my father. Oh, yes, I know that's my mother. Oh, I know that's my grandmother. You'll be able to pick up on those and differentiate. And then you will do that in the same way as a human, you hear a voice. But it is about just asking for that purest sense. It is about knowing that their imprint may feel a little different and will evolve over time as they go through their life review, as they continue to experience life from a spiritual standpoint, and then you can continue the experience of life. Does that answer your question for you?
Yes. Yes, it does. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. I how can I put this? So if a person has passed, but if has left the energy of trauma behind, how can we help cleanse that from our space, help release it from our space? Let's say through voicemails where they were going through a traumatic time, or um, you just you keep sensing that energy every time something comes through, that they're still stuck in that traumatic time that they had, that time of desperation, or um, fight or flight, rather than the happier times. How do we help move away from that energy?
Well, when you think about it from a standpoint of when it keeps coming back or when it was what they left behind, they're very different. So
Mhm.
if they leave behind some of that traumatic energy when they decide to exit the earth, that is something that you need to clear. The same way
Okay.
you need to clean a room physically to get all of
Mhm.
the garbage out, to sweep the floors, to clean the windows, to mop the floor. The same thing needs to be done energetically. So it's that clearing of it. It's bringing in the light in sunlight, it's bringing in stones, it's bringing in crystals that'll help pull out that energy. You're cleansing it just in a different way. But if you're noticing that when they come back in the spirit form, that there is that imprint left behind, or that sludge, we'll almost call it, that you
Mhm.
continue to have to clean up, it is about working with them in the spirit form to say, it is time for you to clear off some of this additional energy and karma that you have picked up. Because as you're coming in, it is weighing you down. And so then it is about letting them go and do the work. So have they done their life review? Have they looked at that to be lighter than that? Or are they showing you them this way because that is what they are? Because a soul is not innately heavy. It does not have all of this trauma. It does not cart all of this around. So the next question is, why is it coming to you this way? Or why is this what you're sensing? Is this a projection of what you are projecting on that energy that comes that you need to look at yourself to understand?
Mhm.
Or is it partly that they're showing this to you for you to learn and experience? But it is about ensuring that on both sides that there is that clearing. Because when a soul does have this additional energy or karma or experiences from life, sometimes that is what they wanted to experience. They are saying, yes, I wanted the heaviness, I wanted the difficulties, I wanted to see that side of life. And so they may in their next lifetime not even have to bring that along because it is just what they needed. Or there may be some things that they want to learn based on that. Maybe they need to learn how to get out of it, how to transform it. And they come in with a very different consciousness and outlook on life. But I would say for you or for the person that is experiencing this energy coming in heavy, it is time to look inward and say, how is this coming to me? What is it that I need to learn from this experience? Because remember, every time as a being, you have an experience, you think of
Yes.
something, have a judgment. We always need to turn it around and say, what do I need to learn from this? What is this showing me? And how can I grow from this experience? Is that helpful for you?
Yes. Thank you.
Of
Thank you very
course,
much.
of course.
I think you've answered, so many of the questions in such a divine way that it will reach a multitude at many different levels. Regardless of your spirituality, I think this will be so helpful in helping so many heal.
Well, we're
And
very happy to be with you today. And if you
thank
don't have
you.
anything else, we will move on. And with that, we wish you an adieu.
Thank you. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Well, Helen, did that answer your questions and give you some clarity on some things?
Yes. And the interesting thing is, I was getting messages, and then you were reiterating the same message I was getting. Like it's like that just a few second delay.
Yeah.
It was, I've got goosebumps. I don't know if you can see, but I have got goosebumps. And when I get goosebumps, it's usually the sign that spirit is saying you hit it on the nail
Yeah.
on the head. That's exactly what we wanted. I really like that. The example I was using with the traumatic energy left behind, I was linking that up. Um, when when my mom's, every once in a while, a message will show up, or an indicator will show up that I have a voicemail from my mom. And as I said, she passed away in November. She was very resistant about passing on, but she was so sick, but she was clinging on to, the earth side. And the voicemail that keeps randomly popping up, she's breathless, and she's calling, saying, Helen, I need your help. You need to call me. And she's just, you can just hear that desperation and that breathlessness. And there was lots of great moments in between that, but
Mhm.
the fact that that message keeps coming up as an indicator. And so I've been working with my mom's spirit and say, we need to leave the trauma of what happened here so that you can enjoy the spiritual experience on the other side.
Yeah,
You're no longer suffering. You
right.
you no longer have to worry about that. You no longer have to deal with illness and disease in that way. Um, you experienced it, but that experience you can leave.
Mhm.
Okay, you don't have to keep that energy. And so I'd been working with cleansing and helping that cord cutting. And so the episodes are becoming fewer and fewer, but for a while there, it was happening really often. My brother had surgery um Thursday last week,
Mhm.
and lo and behold, there's a message from mom. And it keeps showing up at those moments. But I just, have been working with her, and it dawned as you were channeling, the
Mhm.
information, came to me too. The energy reaching out again could very well have been the duality of her energy of desperation. And I felt like she was attacking my space because
Mm,
she did need so much from me
right.
through, well, 90% of my life. It was more of her depending on me than, it was the parent-child relationship backwards.
Right. Yeah.
And I never understood why, because I mean, it's not like there was an addiction problem like
Mhm.
in most families, but they came to me like you go to the wise men of the tribe. I don't know if they sense the energy
You
or
were
what,
you were the
but
person.
yeah, my siblings would do that too. They don't make a move without checking with me first.
Mhm.
It's okay. You guys are grown. It's okay. But I kind of, it just like that light bulb went off when they said the duality of the energy.
Mhm.
That was her needing my presence so much she was taking from me.
Right.
She was basically, without a better descriptor, she was attacking my personal space. She was actually like
Mhm.
taking from my soul.
Right. Yeah. She
So
was using that to be able to support her on her journey. And so it's about her doing the work even
yes,
now, the same way, you're needing to do your work in this lifetime.
yeah, she was. My mom um, was gifted with premonitions.
Mhm.
She could she would have a dream the night before things happened, and she would tell you before the phone call came in that the
Oh,
event had
wow.
happened. Yeah, she that was her thing. My dad was really great with he was empathic and intuitive.
Oh, okay.
So I have it on both sides. I mean, it's been an interesting combination of it goes through the bloodline. So
Yeah.
that I really appreciate this. You gave me a lot of clarity. I feel so much better. And I had focused on the home space, not so on occasion, like, when we move onto a new property, I would cleanse the property,
Mhm.
but I have not been as attentive to cleansing the energy property. And that really is true. There is a vibration. There's so many experiences that happened here over the millions of years that this land has existed.
Right.
So that makes sense. And when I turned 18, left home, went and you rent your first apartment or whatever, I would always give an appreciation, words of appreciation to the space. It's like almost like telling the house thank you and goodbye. Thank you
Right.
for protecting me. Thank you for all the happy memories we had here. I know the next family will be just as happy.
Mhm.
And it's funny because my kids took on that, habit also of saying thank you. Thank you for
Yeah.
keeping us safe. Thank you for giving us, protection and happy memories and great moments. And
Mhm.
I know there's going to be a new family that comes in behind us, and you'll do the same with them. Everything is energy,
Yeah.
you
It
know.
is.
It may look solid to us, but it's a bundle of, atoms and molecules. It's all energy.
Absolutely. And it's just shifting through that energy and finding out what resonates with us, what doesn't, and just allowing it to continue to flow and keeping, our energy clear of those things that don't support us.
Mhm.
So
That is so true. When they gave the example of leaving the energy at the door, I used to have a lavender plant
mhm.
at my front door. And when people would come for readings, I would ask them, please touch the lavender plant and kind of cleanse your energy before you walk in. And that is, he just goes, it feels good. It's like, well, it's the energy of the plant exchanging with you, and you're leaving
Right.
your cares outside.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yes.
I love that. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Very
So
nice.
I need to, the frost, we had a big freeze here, which is uncommon for, I'm in South Texas, and it kind of wiped out a lot of my outdoor plants. So I'm
Mm,
slowly rebuilding my garden again. So I need to go back to get my
yeah.
lavender.
Yeah, yeah, to create that energy again. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this today. I really enjoyed your questions. It gave me a lot of insight into things that I hadn't thought of before. So I really appreciate you being a part of this and connecting with us today.
Well, thank you. Like I said, I learned so much. Your energy is just so, there's so much light and divine. Um, it's almost heavenly, just connecting. Because
Mhm.
as you, when I do aura readings and chakra readings, I'll always, open myself up to it. And I was guided, excuse me, I was guided to go ahead and open myself up. So I don't know if you caught me, but I put my hands out there, my eyes closed, and I could feel that just, it was, for lack of a better word, divine energy of the Druids as you were
Yeah.
channeling. And it's
Yeah.
like, and again, there's the goosebumps.
Yeah.
Um, it was such a beautiful experience. I loved how
Yeah.
they came in. You could feel the light body
Hmm.
around you,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it definitely permeates to anyone that, I'm near or I'm on, a call with, or even, online. It definitely permeates. So yeah, I'm glad you felt that as well.
Your aura expands like afterwards, because if you talk about
Yeah.
that energy footprint,
Yeah.
your aura just expands and glows brighter after.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay. Very
Yeah, it
interesting. Thank
does.
you for that.
Like, ooh,
Yeah.
like the goosebumps
Yeah.
keep coming. They're giving me messages to tell you. Um,
Well, thank you so much for being a part of this. And so if people want to get in touch with you, I know you gave your website before, but what's the easiest way for people to get in contact with you or see kind of some of the work that you do?
um, they can go through my website, which is
Okay.
alighthealing.com, or if they want to email me, ask a question, I'm always open to be of any assistance I can. And so my email is also alighthealing@gmail.com. Those two, I do have a Facebook group called Guided Souls, and I believe it says Guided Souls with the Light Healing.
Okay.
You're welcome to join. We try to do live readings weekly, but whenever a member has a question or needs a little extra guidance, we have a very open door, ask the question and someone will step forward and answer. It's a really great group. Everybody there is so supportive of new readers. So if anybody wants to, if there's any new readers out there that want to practice, the group is very supportive of
Mm,
new readers, very encouraging and very supportive. But yeah, just
wonderful.
alighthealing.com or alighthealing@gmail.com
Okay.
are the best
Well,
ways.
wonderful. And I tell everyone to definitely go check those out and connect with you because your energy is just fantastic. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
And I just can't say thank you enough. This was just an experience like I hadn't had before. So
Yeah, well, good. Yes. Well, thank you again for being part of it. And for everyone else who is watching or listening, thank you for joining us today. I hope you got some clarity on some things for yourself as well. And please remember to always, follow us, check out the latest episode and of the series that we have, or latest video or recording. And with that, have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.
thank you. Bye-bye.